How you doing? So, sorry for suddenly appearing out of nowhere. Hi there, I'm Ʇᴛ. This is a first ever test of streaming. Well, I mean, I have zero experience on this, but hopefully the goal for today is to, hold on a second. This, as you may know, you look at my avatar right now in the corner, and it's Baron. So, let's make me one. I mean, this is a recording mostly for people who might be interested in making their own 2D avatar or PNG tubing, and might be interested in a little bit of, magic. What is this? What am I doing? Well, this program is called Veadotube Mini. It is free, but of course they accept donations. Soon later after, when I have funds to give, I will definitely be donating some, but you should too. You know, they work really hard and they provide this little nice, neat service. This program is pretty easy to use, very clear cut, and you can make your own character. I mean, with the right PNG, you could definitely customize it in certain ways. Let's see if I can make it bigger so we can get the context of what the heck is going on. Can I make this bigger in OBS? Oh wait, it's locked. There we go. Now I should be able to... Nope. Wrong one. Well, this is embarrassing. Ah, here it is. Ta-da! This is the Veadotube UI. How does it work? Well, you see these little things on top? They represent each different animation of the ones you see before you. When I'm not talking, you see that there's 2 frames of animation there. When I'm talking, blinking. And when I am talking, when I'm not talking and when I am talking, both normal and blinking. So you can have your character blink. But in the case of me, since my character has blank eyes, I opted for a little bit of more character movement. See? My little ears wiggle, my tail floof. And when I'm not talking, a little pen action. So that way it looks like I'm drawing, well, along with you. Because today is a drawing stream. I'm going to be... Wait, is it on public? I want to make sure that this broadcast is public. So I'm just going to go to my... Because the last one wasn't. The last one was private. Unlisted. There we go. And now it's public. No. Publish. There we go. Now we're talking. That's the ticket. I really gotta make sure to figure out... Anyway. So, we discussed these on top. Open mouth image. The other one, blinking. And normal ones. We also have these little movements here, where you can jitter when you're not talking. Or jitter a lot, whatever your fancy is. Or bounce. Cute little bounce. Boing, boing. This one isn't that much of my favorite, but, I'd rather have it like this. If I'm calm, I might as well be swaying in the breeze. And now these ones are when the mouth is open. I like it a little bit jittery. Number 3 is my favorite, but you might like the other options, which are similar to these. They're basically exactly the same. So when I'm talking, I can be really crazy. We're moving around. Or bouncing. Just bouncing around, normal. Like a game item. Or, just slowly getting more and more antsy and crazy. But these are not that much my favorites. Unless I make like an avatar for it. And speaking of which, that's the interesting bit about this program. You see this corner where they said states? Well, I can have multiple states for the same character. essentially I can replace these and make new emotions. So in this one I can just be calm with number 3. Like, you know, just talking, normal, having fun. But on another state, I can be the deer with the shoe! Yo! And I can be a little antsy, you see? That did not happen. But you see what I mean? I can have multiple emotions with different custom settings! And yeah, they can be assigned to hotkeys too. You see that little bit of the corner over there that says no hotkey? Oh, you can't. The OBS is being silly. Hold on a second. Do. Why is the OBS like this? Do. Do. Is this the limit of the thing? No, it can't be. It cannot be. Oh, yeah, that is the limit, isn't it? So I should actually make it smaller. I'm silly. I'm a silly little boy. Well, and that's the case. Where's Vroid? There it is. It should be working now. There we go. Sorry about that. I'm getting used to OBS being silly. So yeah, you see this? Left button of the mouse. That means that whenever I want this state, I can just click that and boom, this character will appear. Let me test it. From here? Oh, it does not seem to work, sir. I haven't touched these, so I don't know exactly what's going on. I'll be sure to study this later, but for today, I just want to replace all these with legitimate drawings. And that's why, let me just... That's why I'm on Clip Studio today. The first step, at least for me, was to solidify the design of the character that I want to be. I mean, of course, this took freaking decades. I was in college making this character, and I mean, it's not good. It's not great by any means. It could be a lot better, but it was absolute dog garbage in college. But, you know, no shame. Even in high school, you can be struggling to make an original character or not. You could be one of those super mega prodigies. Like, look, come on, I'm old and I see teenagers that I'm like, how you do this, man? So, yeah, don't beat yourself up too much about it, you know? Improvement is about time. So, take yours. Alright, so... Besides this was the latest, just thrown out details about the aesthetic of the character. But I've done a few more. More or less, I have liked to have my character be a little bit of a more chibi nature. This was my favorite. Just a cheerful little guy, having fun and doing mischief and being an overall little crap to live with. Just a little squishmallow. So yeah, I could be a bigger character, but it never quite satisfied me to have the character be this bipedally huge, epic. I mean, sure, I would like it, but I don't think I'm there yet. I think I need a specific art style that I'm not yet developed. But again, the more art styles I collect as I keep practicing, the more I'll get to it. But that day is not today. Either way, we can start with what we do know. In this case, this. And you know what the most coolest part about this is? I can live edit my character on stream. This is why I have the little character here on the little corner, see? Because this can be edited live. Say, for example, that I have the character here. And I just, just grab a brush and just smudge it all over. You may not be able to see what happens next because it's all about files and folders. I have it right on File, Save, Duplicate, PNG. I travel to the file. In this case, it's let me see. It's talking. And yes, I will replace this image. Okay, replaced. It's replaced. So now I go to, let me just make it bigger again. I go to Veadotube and I select up here where it should be, change image. And again, you will not see this because it opens up my files and OBS doesn't capture it. But if I choose this, oh, right. This is something I forgot to talk about the last time I did a test. I've already done this video-ish in a way, but it's been a test, obviously. So here you see it says the limits of the picture. 20848. But we cannot make this exact. It will not recognize it. When I changed it to inches, it was 2.93 inches. So let's make it smaller. As particularly maybe 290, 2.90 inches, and it will be able to accept it. Let's ignore that. New 2.90 inches and 2.90 inches of height, 700 resolution because I'm insane and I am not right. Let's go back, copy, paste, a little big. So let's transform. Actually, I'm gonna make them a little smaller, like this, because I want to make the little bottom have at least something, maybe just little feetsies. Because if I move it around anywhere else on the screen, it won't be awkwardly cut, and I don't want that. Actually, I only see 2 frames. I think I might have done. No, hang on. I just need to load the other images. First off, no, I can actually. All right, I forgot the. I forgot the music abruptly cuts. Oh no, not here. Sorry, I'm looking through the files. Veadotube, Avatar, Deucets, the other frames. There we go. These are all the. Oh, sorry. Let's just shrink myself down again. There we go. But you see right on top of me, I have all of the frames. I just now need to align them properly. I don't want to start jumping around, Yeah, they gotta be more or less aligned. This one's too small. Let's make it a little bigger. They cannot have that much of a difference between them at all. Otherwise, it will just bounce around awkwardly. We don't want that. Too big. There we go. As close as possible. Yeah, because I think I made a little change. Actually, these are supposed to be the same and perfectly aligned. So, if I actually pass these are the right size, and now I have to just change these into the... Sorry, this is... yeah. It's part of the process. But you're seeing everything live. In case you want to do it yourself, you might more or less know what you're doing, unlike me, which is doing everything for the first time. I had to actually look for a lot of tutorials to get this ready. I was running into some OBS problems, a few niche solutions that were like, what? Like, really? But again, I guess the life of a streamer is one of surprises. I welcome it. Seems fun. It looks neat. I'm gonna move this one a little bit down because... Actually, I might not need to. Because all of this, let's put it on a group. And let's shrink the group a little bit because of what I said before. That I want to make like just a bottom. Maybe a few feetsies. It's just that I don't like this cut up here of the ear. I don't want it to... Oh, the music stopped. Now I remember why I didn't chose the song. It's pretty cool, but it stops at some point for some reason. Let's see if this one lasts us much longer. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna put all the music you hear on the description in case you're interested. Yeah. Apparently, this is like no ads, free to use. So, I hope in God's fluffy mercy that is true. Let's just add this one. Bam. I do not want to get kicked on my first day. Let's return the OBS to its proper place. Okay, for the first time, let's start drawing. At least to fix this, seriously. What were you thinking, sir? Are these locked? No. There we go. Yeah, sorry. I gotta convert the layer back into vectors. So. Let's see what we got so far. Oh, but why does it look like this? We're discovering a lot of things with Clip Studio. But don't worry, because now we actually need to remake all this. These are just sketches, so it doesn't really matter how they look right now. Oh, let me just show you what I meant before. If I take this one, which is mouth closed blinking, and I make just export single layer, PNG. and I save it. And then I go to Veadotube. Finally, we're going to do this, and I'm going to show you. Which is this one. Change image. Now you should be able to see. Oh, there it is. You see what I mean? We can live change the character and see how it looks. But again, these are sketches, so it doesn't really matter if, you know, what you see before you is meant to disappear. And speaking about disappearing, let's return this to its natural state of being. It's very powerful. Yes. 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 Okay. Let's return this into its tiny size. Go back to Veadotube and rechange the image. Blinking mouth closed, and you will see that there's no more weird, awkward, blinking green whatever. Okay. Let's get to work then. Finally. Let's begin with this one. This is my talking. Actually, no. Let's begin with my mouth closed. It will be easier to show off when we're done. Let's select the appropriate colors. New vector layer. Group. Mouth closed. Lower the opacity of the sketch. And let's begin. You know, I found a way to make circles better, but I do like the sketchiness of trying to make it physically on your own, because this is a cartoon, so you know it fits the messiness of the line. However, you can always also do this. It's a little messy with vectors, because when you do vectors, you get all these lines that help you control the thing. It's the superpower of a vector layer, that you are able to edit the line after the fact. But it's kind of cumbersome when I'm trying to do something like this. You first make the stain of the circle. You press C to make the eraser-ish vector. And more or less in the middle, with finesse and care for the line weight around, you got a perfect circle. Now the only problem is that you see that in the middle? That is the same thing we saw before, and you can actually control it. So if you think that you can touch the thing like we did with the line, if we make a circle line, you see that we can control everything around it. But in this case, there is no such thing. You're kind of screwed. I mean, you can always move the invisible ink around, but at the end of the day, you know, there is no right or wrong answer in this situation. You kind of have to literally wing it with your eyes and your situation. Is this good? Is this bad? It's a technique. Be what's the word? Not judgmental. Just, know what you're doing. Both methods are valid. But in my case, I want perfect circles, and I'm not really going to retouch the eyes of this character, so I'm just gonna do this. The invisible ink is kind of strange, because it also acts like a vector layer. If I make a line, it should register. There it is. You see? And I can drag it anywhere. This happens when I press the C key. I'll just delete that. And this thing over here. You see that it has black, it has all these colors, and under it, there is this transparent color that is what allows you to use it as an eraser, but it's not really an eraser. It's pretty good to erase vector layers, because if you use the actual eraser, The eraser will delete the specific vector points. So if you delete here, that happens, and then that happens. You know, it spazzes out because it's not really deleting. It's not deleting like if I use the transparent paint, which just wherever you touch. See? The eraser, if I do the same, it will not delete it. It's actually deleting the invisible ink that I just put because it's deleting the individual vector points. And whatever's left just leaves a giant spazzing machine. Anyway, let's continue. I normally use this as an eraser, but it's honestly come to bite me in the butt a lot. But again, that is if I'm not careful. I want to make the snoot... I want to make the snoot smooth, but also still with that sketchiness. Can't forget the mole. Should I do this? Nah. I mean, this would be cute, actually. No, maybe later. I like this little. Actually, should I make it sharper? All right, yeah. It doesn't. Yeah. Okay. I like these little triple spikes. They sorta happen in real life, but it's because my hair is a little bit curly. Not too curly like this. More like, you know, like it just makes a little thing every now and then. And it ends up wavy at the top. Very wavy. But it sponges up like an afro. So I have all these, you know, things in the corner. Especially here where the mutton chops are. The side brows are. And it's a little, it's super annoying. But, you know, I compensate by making it like this. I really wish my hair would be more structured. But I think, I don't know, I think like most problems, it's mostly my fault. I'm not into hair care much. You know, the kind of guy that wakes up, splashes his face with water, and it's ready for the day. That's me. That's me pretty much. Not that I look fabulous. It is, I'm just lazy. Though sometimes I catch myself in the mirror, and thankfully I've kicked self-esteem a little bit to the curve that I can be actually appreciative of what I have. Ooh, doo doo doo. This is the part that I forgot to make in the original sketch. There we go. Sometimes it's all about the swing. So, oh, and this protuberance here. Remember what I said about the eraser? Sure, I can hit C and do this, you know, carefully, and it will work. I got the dexterity for it, so why not? And I do this a lot. But I keep forgetting that I can do something else, because remember, the vector thing stays. And all of this mess can be removed by accident. So what's there to do if you don't actually want this vector line here? You can always move it back physically, but that takes a lot of time. The other thing you can do the actual eraser. There is this thing over here. Erase up to intersection. And this is your key to doing this. And carefully, you can remove up to the intersection. It's not perfect, but it will prevent any mistakes. You can rest easier. It doesn't always work. It's not always the ideal solution. But again, nothing is laid out in front of you. You gotta choose. This face feels a little strange. I think it's stretched out downwards like this. Like if I was able to make a 3D image of this picture, let me make a new layer. I feel that the snoot here is making a cone, and it's forcing itself that way. Can you see it? Like it's going this way and stretching. It's not like this cute, self-contained yay guy. It's more like a yay. Let's see if that's what it is. Look at this for a little second. And look at that. You see, it's this part of the snoot here. Actually, let's make a ruler. I'll paint it blue, just to make sure that we are centered. We can use this blue circle as a guide. Everything in a chibi should be more or less self-contained. And probably a little protuberance for the chin and the cheek over here. It's kind of like a bean, you know. If I put a bean inside of the circle, I kind of make Sonic. You see another bean here, and I get the eyes. A little... Hey, how's it going? I'm the Hedgehog Supreme! So this bean over here is important. We'll just make it a little bigger. At least to help us center our thing out. This one should not protuberate too much. This one protuberates. But it goes up, see? Let's erase. Oh, right. You see what I mean? I can delete the lines of the bean, but I cannot delete this line of the circle. Because it's not a line, it's an illusion. So I'll just have to use invisible ink. Okay. This is more or less our model. We should follow this. This can be a sketch again. So let's finish this, and then we can fix it. This is the second sketch. Normally, even if you have a sketch like this, which is like a very crude version, you definitely need to make a second sketch, which is this. It's a lot cleaner, but it's still not the final product, which is annoying to not have already a final product by the second try. But sometimes I've needed a second, third, and fourth attempt. C'est la vie. It's the life of the artist. Unless you start getting a little bit better, in which case you can just do it in one go. Or you don't have like very perfectionist mindset like I do. It's a curse. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's turn this off for a little bit. Arms. A little bit of a... Let's not make it spiky, let's just make it floofy. You see, I can get outside of the model a little bit. It doesn't matter. So long as the others don't also get too far away. Actually, I shouldn't have fear. I should just make a continuous line. we go. Yeah, we need to sometimes do like 30,000 lines. And now for the bottom. Actually, magic! Copy, paste, drag. Oh, what's this? It's too Whoa! How did I do that? The magic of vector layers. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why I left Photoshop for illustration. Vector graphics are so good. The pixels are not final because you're not working with pixels, you're working with math. It only becomes pixels after you've exported, and only after you've exported. I mean, yeah, it works with pixels too, see? But I can control a lot more than pixels. It is just a visual representation, sir. It is not real until it is. Alright. Delete until intersection. This one's a little... There we go. There we go. Hand cleaned. Let's actually refine this a little. There we go. I normally don't work with this thickness level of brush, but it works for cartoons. Pretty much a cylinder. Actually, should I make it accurate? Because my pen right now is broken in half. But the bottom half actually functions really well. Because the only thing that broke was the eraser bit. And I don't use the eraser bit. Again, like I just explained, I use the C control, the C hot button, and the E. So there's really no need for me to stop, twist my hand, and like, oh, I'll just use the eraser, oh, ooga booga booga, and then just go back and do, you know, in one full swing I can just click, click, done. So I actually, in one of the animations that I did, one of the tests, I made like a staff that was broken, and it was accurate to what was actually happening. Also, I do not use the buttons of the pen nor of the tablet. I don't know, I have a keyboard. It's got a lot more buttons than these two. It's more comfortable. This hand is actually for my hotkeys. It should be on a keyboard somewhere on the bottom here, but I don't know. This works because it's a cartoonish representation. I actually want to make another version of this, but just gaming or on the computer with a keyboard. And the other one on a mouse. Yeah. Yeah. I'll think about it. So. Let's see how it's looking. Okay. I'm sorry. I just sneezed. Had to mute. What else? Okay. Little fluffy tail. Little leg and a little feet. I think it's too long for this character. It should be more like a baby, you know, like boing, 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 and then... You know, like, it should be more bumpy. This straight thing. In fact, it should only just be one, like this. A little claw tips. Just make 4. A little bump, a little bump, a little bump. I don't know, you know, like very Fred Flintstone kind of thing. And you move this a little lower to make the tablet larger than my body. Art is a serious business, man. You gotta look at all these details. Because again, if the tablet is the same line as me, it's not gonna look natural. It's not gonna be natural, sir. Oh, speaking of, I'll make the border corner. This is the second sketch, so on the new things, it's okay to make them look a little bit sketchier, so I don't really mind. Actually, I'm tempted to make this on Affinity, because this is a machine, this is a product, and I can work with vector lines better there than here. I can combine the effort of Clip Studio and Affinity. I'll think about it, but for now this is a pretty good sketch. Good soup. Actually, I like this better. Just little feet coming out. In that case, I'll just delete all this. Like, fully erase it. Okay. I'll leave the little tail floof. It's cute. But the more pudgy, unbearably squishy I make it, the cuter. But I don't want to cover the floof tail, so I'll move it up. And maybe the whole foot, I'll select it, just make it taller. This is the other thing you can do if you're not completely willing to make it from scratch and you think you got a good foot or a good drawing, you can just resize it like this. It messes up the vectors, like it sometimes erases. You know, it moves the invisible pen color by its own volition. You gotta freaking move pieces around to see what the heck happened. Where's the culprit? But sometimes you can just whatever. Again, this is a second sketch. Let's not get into the weeds of it. And now, doom 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 doom. I think we're done. Oh, the little chest area lines. Maybe a little nose snoot. Nah. Cute eyebrows, maybe. Make it look friendlier. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I can just write also the brand. Like, I'm not sponsored, but you know, I gotta get credit where credit is due, my friend. but I'm also going to be honest about their disadvantages. Not that this is a disadvantage. This is actually a good design. I like the idea that the pen, sure, it has this eraser that I don't use, but it's separate. The mechanism here and the magnetic coil, it's like this very tight coil, right? And in there, there's a thing that moves up and down, which is connected to the tip, right? And when it does move up and down, it creates a magnetic field. Why? Because that's how magnets are made. It moves electrons around. When two metals like that move across each other, it makes electrons move. And what happens when electrons move? An electric current. That's what electricity is. It's just a bunch of electrons moving around by that friction. Some metals are able to do it better than others, others not at all. But this one is specifically made. So when this magnetic field is created, a little electric shock is created. And that little beep comes out into the XP Pen tablet. This is why this pen is wireless. The same thing can be said over here. It does the same thing. However, you see, it's the same thing. However, they're separate. So even when I lose this, I don't lose the function of the tip. And to me, that is brilliant engineering. Why am I explaining it? Because I freaking love it. I was actually very surprised. This is my theory of how it works by just looking at it. There's like a brownish copper. It has to be copper. Copper is very conductive. And I can see the motherboard inside of the pen. Like, to me, this is what happens. And it makes sense too, because I've gotten water stuck inside of this thing on accident. And it just, you know, the pen pressure goes crazy. Sometimes I end up just trying to make a smooth line, but I end up like full pressure like this, and I'm like, what's happening? Why does it do this? And then I realize why. Because water is conductive. And if the entire mechanism is reliant on slight, delicate electromagnetic pulses that send signals to the motherboard, that sends signals to the XP pen, it kind of sends the electrons going everywhere in all directions. Probably also making me only have the fullest pen pressure available in existence. So yeah, don't get your things wet. Your electronics are very delicate. Although it's good that this XP pen doesn't use batteries or has any other complicated mechanism, so it can survive it. But I will not test just how much it can survive. You know what I mean? Anyway, we have a complete sketch. The second sketch, much better than the first, of course. You see, we've done some improvements. We've done some specific detail work that we didn't have in the first one. You know, we got the literal broad strokes out of the way. Now we are more specific. However, I do like that the eyes in the first sketch were of similar sizes. I tried to make them different, like a cartoon, but it just doesn't work with a clean line. That, or it's just that I like them bigger. Let's test that. We can match the size by just comparing. And trying it out. Okay, I like it better. It's not perfect, but I'll leave that for the next sketch, because it's also covering the spiky hair, and on the original it didn't. The spiky hair was on top. If anything, let me just represented, actually. If anything, it should look like this. Let me just erase the circle in the middle. I'm deleting in the same place because I know that this is where the vector lines are. Oh, now it just looks evil. Okay, let me just... It looks freaking evilly demonic. Okay, fine, you win. Brush, invisible ink. Just want to sorta see how it... Again, we're not trying to be super clean about this. It's just... want to see the overall... how it should look. What do you guys think? Hair on the front? Or eyes popping out? Yeah, I think the eyes should be on the back. We can keep it like this. But just... invisible ink. Voila. Yeah. Okay, I like this. The similar sizes thing I like pretty much. I think we can move on to fixing this. What we can do is... Actually, I can just go here. Wishing one, select the surrounding area. Go to this layer and transform. Oh. Inverse selection. Very important. Get more or less squish the face so it matches the original circle-y looking sketch. It doesn't have to completely match it, but close enough that it is round and fluffy. Deselect. Let's take the model off. I think it's a lot better compared to the old one. See? And also, let's look at the original one and let's flip the canvas. That is a lot better. Than the old one. Oh yeah. Circles. They're your best friends. Beautiful rulers. Maybe we can get these a little closer. Now that it's fixed. And connect. Très bien. Très bien. I mean, again, since this is a sketch, sure. We can be a little bit messy. But this is the second sketch, so let's not be too messy, too vague. It's not about messiness, it's about vagueness. We gotta be more specific every time we repeat the drawing. We're not gonna get it right on the first try, but we should get closer to the right answer the more we keep going. Ooh. Do you like this? Something about this. This cut. Oh, I like it. I mean, I don't like this. Look at this. Let's clean it up. Again, when you select transform vector layers, they can get very messy. So let's clean up this. Sometimes it's irreversible or at least uncleanable, but in this case it is. This looks weird. This ear popping out just in the middle. You know, like this weird triangle. Like if it was a flat birthday, whatever, birthday hat, maybe I can just match it. I want to match it better with the skull hairline, so it would definitely make the ear a little bigger. And the thickness should continue. You see this thickness? It should continue, so it shows that the ear is behind the head. Not in front of it, behind it. There we go. There we go. Actually, in this sense, on this angle, this ear should be facing on the front of the hair, so I'm just gonna delete the line and allow the ear to present itself. And because they're the same color of the same floof, I'm not going to cut it. That will make it look 2D. Kind of like this same situation. I don't want that. I want it to blend with the hair. Maybe you can make a little bump like this, so it shows, oh, it's a part of this, but it's also on a different bump, a different thing from this body. So a little bump can help. Maybe like this. It also shows what's the nature of this area here. If I make like a 3D grid, this bump makes it feel like it's something like this. If we follow the same line as the bump, it's like a 3D illusion. With a single bump, you can make this 3D illusion that the ear is an object with depth and thickness, but it's not. I'm lying to you. I'm a liar and a cheat. And that is the power of an artist. Your eyes can never be the same. But again, this is all just saved in my head mentally with this bump. We can change the bump and change this 3D language completely by making it inwards. Now it just looks like it's going in. Sure, it's the same indicator, but there's like this ridge. You know, instead of it being two bumps like this, it's a deeper ridge like this. The concave of it. It bends up, not down. And when it bends like this, it makes it seem like there should be a lot of shadow here. And then the topography pops out from the bottom, which is a much tighter curve than a bump that's more like a belly that flops down and folds on itself like a belly roll. You know, when a character has a belly, here's a little man boob, and then a stomach, and then the feet, a little butt. Well, this slumping of belly would make this kind of a curve here, like this. You know, it's a bump that's going this way. It's overlapping itself here. But if we do this, this one is doing the concaving. And it's squeezing this a little bit more. So this one looks like it's on top of this one. But I actually want to make the ear pop up a little bit. Not too much. Just enough. This 3D lesson has been provided by the good folks at Magic Corp. Yes. Anyway, I actually like this a lot. This is the problem with the second sketches. Sometimes you just want to use this. But I see a mistake here. There we go. Hell, I could use this, but resist the urge. We need to clean it up a little bit more. So, same process. Let's make it transparent. And let's start all over again. But this time, we know exactly what we want to do. We know where to put everything. We're just tracing our own work and making it good. Instead of fully curving it, I want to make it a little bit lower. And instead of this, maybe yeah, close enough. And instead of this, maybe a little bit more of a wave. Still thick. Still a thick star bit. There we go. This has a little bump here. You see, I'm looking for not us because this looks squished. And it makes sense because we squished it this way. But I wanna it ends here, and then a curve. Like a hair curve, and then this smooth line. And then in here, this looks flat. Remember what I said about 3D dynamics? I'm actually going to continue this line as a model. I'm not gonna keep this line. At least not much of it. Let me just... My hand curves very well like this. It's really hard to do it this way. It can, but it's easier to follow my natural thing. So rotating the canvas on command is a powerful tool to speed up your process. Okay, so this line, I might actually keep it. This is really good because I gotta make this hair bit be on the back. I might actually need to make it shorter because of the effects of foreshortening. This is 3D, and the rest of the hair gets smaller the farther away it gets. See? I mean, this is of course an example, but it should be pointing away from this one, see? This would be more ideal. This one's on top with the curve bump that I mentioned a lot earlier, like a little belly. And then this one over here should be pointing at the back. If anything, no, it cannot transform an individual vector layer, sadly. Oops. Because it should be pointing this way and it should be short. Let me make a... From this point, this is a triangle, essentially. If you doubt yourself on what is going on, have simple shapes. Let's just make it hot red and on top of everything. If you are unsure of what you're doing, do shapes. And thankfully, let me make a continuous triangle. Make sure that the triangle is not perfect. Like one side is big, should be bigger than the other because it shows that you're choosing a priority, a hierarchy of attention. This hair bit is closer to us, therefore it would be bigger, and whatever is at the back here is not as important. It's moving away from us. Both hair bits cannot compete with each other. So let me just make it transparent. This is my model. I'm gonna follow this line more or less, the curve of the hair. Just adjust the thickness. Too spiky. There we go. This is closer to what we need. We need a cone that's looking away from us, rather than a cone that's looking at us. If anything, it should be more like this. More like a circle, oval thing, but the point tip is here. See, this will be a cone that's looking at us. Like a shell. And this would be one that's looking away from us. And that's the same case with these two. It might seem like a really stupid, tiny detail to get hung up on, but it makes the difference between a flat drawing that is cubism, that is like, hey, look at me, I'm an anime that's just flat, no dimensions at all, versus something that is like this. I am a 3D character with depth and dimensions and weight. You know, this is more solid. Than something that's flat without dimension and everything is the same or competing with each other. See, there's a hierarchy here. Eyes are bigger. There's this thing here, the ridge, where it shows that the head is on the back. Actually, this might show two-dimensionality. So let's actually make it a little better. Let's erase that. Let's make the ear be on the front and the head on the back. Again. If anything, we can make this thicker to show that there's depth. This area is so far back that it's obscured, so it's dark. High contrast darkness. And even the ear can have dimensionality and depth and a little dark shadow area. That means, yeah, there's a lot more here. Little details like these make the whole thing look more 3D. And let's give it more space to pop out as a 3D object. Clean the silhouette. Clean the area. A little better, see? Anyway, all of this helps out for this little character. Now that we're done with this, we can take away the triangle. And again, all of these things are things that happen on someone's mind when you practice hard enough. Or at least when you practice for long enough, the same thing over and over. When I was younger, I did need all sorts of guides before I could make the character. And the character still looked flat. I just made the whole, you know, X. I still do, but, you know, I had to do a lot more boxes and planning and pre-drawing and these structural measurements and whatever. I still do them. I still do, but I don't need them as much as I did before. And now I can make 3D shapes without having to make a sketch beforehand. I kind of know what I want. But again, this is all practice. Practicing your fundamentals. There is no replacement for fundamentals, my friends. I don't know what I'm drawing. Let's go back to the spikes. Yeah, the overlap. Oh, very clean overlap. But now let's erase these proper. The one thing I do value from art school, I did went to an art high school and then art college. Not that they were particularly excellent. I mean, the high school was pretty good, but the college, it just made me realize that artists do not need an art college unless they put you exactly where you want to be. Specifically, the art industry, animation, graphic design. Graphic design, you might need more credential. But if you just want to draw, man, just draw. You know, if you just want to paint, very low bar. You don't need college. You don't need a degree to become a professional. My suggestion: get yourself an economy diploma, or not even a diploma. Just learn about finances and how to market your product. And in this case, your product is your art, right? Because if you don't know how to draw, YouTube exists. This is where I've been learning all of the things that I've been talking about, and God knows how many more I'll be talking about and ranting on and on. This is my ranting place. I'll just rant and scream all I want here, right? But everything that I argue, I've learned from YouTube. All of these measurements, these triangles, they're from Ethan Becker. If you don't know who Ethan Becker is, I suggest you go check it out. He does art classes. And I think that's the best way to learn art nowadays. They have art programs that are specific to where you want to go, and they cost a fraction of what a diploma would do. Because think about it this way: what will college do to you? What are the main things that they will make you do when you apply? They will make you practice a lot. They will force you to practice because you already paid money, right? So it'll be like, oh no, I gotta do the thing. Otherwise, you know. But they will not be personal projects you care about, and they will grade you with a lot of arbitrary letters that who gives a damn what any of these letters mean in the real world, right? But they will force you to practice, which you can do in your free time. The other thing that they will make you do is learn about cultures and the world. But if you know anything about the internet, we are more connected now more than ever. What stops you from opening your browser, going to Google, and checking it out for yourself? Sure, college will curate what you should read. This is what I think is valuable. They have curated knowledge about what is best. But you can get a copy of the syllabus from a student. It's just a bunch of scribbles on a piece of paper, right? So you can just get someone to give you the syllabus, or you yourself find the syllabus somewhere and read it. And then you can just, by yourself, practice. For free. If you have internet access. And most of you would, because how the hell are you looking at me right now? But in college, you gotta pay to have a coach tell you to practice and to read. Does that sound reasonable? The only thing I do believe that college can give you that you cannot get for free is your networking, which you can do with time. But the networking college can give you, is curated. I think that's the only value college can give you. But if college cannot get you in the industry the second you graduate, or close to it, or at least know people that can get you into, like, I don't know, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, or a manga studio, whatever it is that you want to apply to, it's useless. This is the best value college can give you, in my opinion. At least, I don't know, look for this. When you apply to a college degree in art, it just has to be graphic design. It has to be graphic design. Any kind of design, really. Any kind of design will be a profitable career in art. And the other thing, it will be anything related to animation. Is it profitable? I don't know. I don't think so. It really depends. Just study. Go to YouTube. Look at Ethan Becker. Look at all these professional animators. They'll tell you what to look for and how to build your portfolio specifically for this, to get where you want to go. You don't need a coach to tell you this. You just heard it for free on YouTube. And you can do a lot of things if you put your mind to it. And the first step to all of this is this. You get up for free, study today. Are you good enough? I don't care. It doesn't really matter if you're good enough or not. You can become good enough if you yourself don't give up. And if you practice the perfect practice for what you want to do. Because sometimes it's very experimental and your thing is super new and niche. And you can develop it all on your own. And you can make something new that no one else has ever done. With your study and with your practice and your talents, your unique, specific talents that are yours, nobody else's. Maybe you're a baker. Maybe you know engineering. Maybe you can code a website by yourself perfectly. With all these combined, you can make something new. And if that something new connects very well with something people need, then you got a monopoly. You got a business. You can sell your services and get a profit. But again, you gotta study economy, because there's such things as laws that regulate what you win, what you lose, how you manage your business. This is why I think business school, in some sense, is a lot more important and necessary than an art college if you want to pursue art professionally. And if you don't want to pursue it professionally, don't go to college. Just study and practice all on your own. Look at other artists. Interview them. Get over the shyness of talking to other people. And just communicate, network. Ask, hey, what things do you use to make that thing? What did you do? And then they'll gladly tell you. Artists love talking about themselves. We love to tell people what we did and how we did it. It's like, whoa, not only look at what I did, look at all the effort it took to get here. Artists are excited to share. And if you give them that space, they will tell you. Unless they have like trade secrets, please respect that. But an artist will be excited to share their hard effort, their journey, their story. And the story is just as important as the resources of what they use. They use tools. They use time. They use money. And they also have ideas, philosophies points of view that other people might find ridiculous. Artists are crazy. But, it's the good kind of crazy. And hearing them out, what's the worst that can happen? But again, follow artists you like. Don't just go to any artist. You gotta focus on what you like and what you're good at. You can't expect to be amazing at something you've never done before. But if you want to pursue it, please, by all means, just understand that it will take more time and effort to do something you've never done before. But it will be worth it, because then at some point you will be able to. Hell, you'll be the leading superstar in doing it. And you can help the next generation. But that comes with time and practice and dedication. Although if you're already good at something else, it might be a lot easier. Might be a lot easier to do something you're already good at, or close to what you're already good at. And be good faster at it. Depends on where your passion is. If your passion is here, go here. If it's here, go here. But the idea is, you can combine what you know, but also study at your convenience. Go where the wind takes you, where your passions truly lie. And don't worry if it takes a long time, years, decades. Hell, right now, this stream probably took a decade. But here we are. Sharing what I like, sharing what I know. And I'm excited to see what you do with it. And with all the refined focus, who knows where you'll be at in the next few years. You are not good today. You will not be good at it tomorrow. Not even next week. Forget next month. But if you don't start today, after 2 months of doing nothing, you will be no closer than you were when you started. So start today. Don't be scared. We're all in the same boat. Whoever laughs at you has not worked a day in their life. And then they have, they're not worth to have as partners. Because they just want to stump everybody in their wake. Instead of having empathy over hard effort, they want to take everything for themselves. But don't be like them. Even if you do make it, help people that are under you. Don't be afraid to share what you know. You will have companions and friends for life. Teamwork is the next thing that comes as an important step besides everything I just mentioned. Skill is important to an artist. Understanding why art is good. Yes. The psychology of what makes a good painting, good music piece, what makes our minds tick. It's all important. But not as important as the teamwork around it. So be nice. Be respectful. Be willing to join a team or a community. respect them. Make sure they feel included. Be honest if they need to repolish their idea. Be humble when people correct you. You can be wrong too. You're only human. If they didn't love you, they would stay quiet and see you get laughed at in the judgment hall. So discuss ideas freely and be open to improvement. No one knows everything. No one is good. No one stops growing. So enjoy it. I'm growing. And that's why I tell you, you can do what I'm doing right now. Will you? It's looking pretty good. I'm excited. You know, I was a little nervous to start the stream. Mostly because I saw another streamer say that they were gonna start streaming at like 12 p.m. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to miss it. But I think I needed to get this test out of the way, you know? I want to see how this works out. You know, it's an investment for the future, so. Now let's make this rasterize background layer. Take away and look at it more plainly. I normally work without a background, as you saw, but this helps. Let's delete this. You see the importance and the difference? A lot cleaner. A lot nicer. Oh yeah, I need to make the tablet 3D, or do I? Because when I start to actually shade it, I might not need to make this, you know, I might not need to make the edges. I can keep it sorta like this. And then, when I'm about to shade, for example, if I take a color like this, no, lighter. I can just... This is actually how you make better realism. Because look around you. Look at your hands for a second. I'm not gonna do anything. Look at your hand. Do you see any lines? Lines don't exist in real life. You may look back. So, to make lines with shading is a skill. You can do it with your pencil too. Just make a dark area, and then with the eraser, let me just get another brush to kind of symbolize you can softly erase like this. See how it slowly looks like a 3D object? If I erase the bottom and diffuminate here, diffuminate a little more up here, and a lot more in the edge. To make a gradient. See how it starts to look a lot more 3D? Let's... Yeah, okay. There's also no such thing as... Well, there is, but only in extreme circumstances. Pure black and pure white are not things that exist in the real world unless they are very intense. Like, you know, the sun. Or if you're out at sea and all you have is no moon, the water, and no stars. Just blackness everywhere you look. That's the only time where you see pure black and pure white. But in other occasions, it will be a rarity, so even clouds. If I'm going to make a cloud, I start maybe with a dark tone, not black, again. Just really dark, right? I make the silhouette of a cloud, more or less. And then I start to interchange it with a bright color. But the point is that I never quite reach white. I might reach cream, I might reach a very pale gray, but never quite white. Never quite completely white. And if I do, it will be accents, because it's very sunny, because it's very bright, and it's just a few details. Of course, we can refine this, but I'm not doing that. But you see what I mean? It's a game of shading. At least that's what reality is. So I am curious if I should do that here. Although I'm not going... Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because the tablet is a dark color. But I have to make sure that this edge is not flat. What do I mean by that? It means that instead of... Oh, the other. This one. This brush is a lot more. I mark the edges like this, but I can also make the edges as if there were... No, I'm not drawing these, but I am keeping the triangle, the angles that make it seem 3D, instead of just making a square like this. Oh, the music ended. Let me just... Do. Another one, please. Please. Another one. Another one. Aw. Okay. So, we can have this flat, just perfectly straight angles, or we can have tan. You know, we're showing one of the faces, and in this one there's no extra faces. So if I delete this, even if it doesn't have these lines, it still feels like there should be something there. And that's the trick. But the tablet doesn't have that. So let's do that. What we can do... Oops. Erase this. And instead of making a triangle, I stop here. I go here, and then I start the line. It makes it feel like it starts from here and it goes up. More or less. But I'm not gonna mark it. And I don't have to mark it here either because the other corner would be here in the middle, so there's no need. But I have to keep it in mind, so from here, I can make an imaginary line. Ends up here. And instead of a triangle, a little curved, because it's not a straight, aggressive. The tablet is really beveled, very soft, rounded corners. I think this should be enough. Although the dimensions of this word change. And I should compensate, so let's surround this. Transform. And make it more 3D, accommodating the surface. See what I mean? Before, it looks like a door. See what I mean? It's a door. Close, open, close, open, close. And I need it close, see, because all the lines of the tablet are going this way. Oops. So this N should be bigger than the X. But that wasn't the case before, see? The N was a lot shorter than the X. So it feels that this part of the tablet should be bigger than this one. But of course that's not how it works. This part is larger because it's closer to us. This one is shorter because it's farther away. So, close the door. The same thing we talked about the hair here is happening here. Foreshortening. Bigger, shorter. Hallway. Oh, right, I should delete this. Nice. I think we're done. We can actually start coloring this one. Maybe. Or should we move on to the other emotions? Mouth closed. Done. We have now mouth open. Mouth open. Blink. Oh. Not link. Not link. This one should be mouth closed, blink. Be blink. Okay, there you go. Turn it off. Mouth open, blink. Turn on. Mouth closed, blink. But of course, not really blinking. Let's do this one, because it's closer to the one we were already doing. Which is the clean up mouth closed version. And because it's so similar, we don't really have to do that much work here. This is already done, so let's just copy this final. We can delete the other old versions, but let's cycle through them first. Original sketch. refined sketch, final sketch. Well, not sketch, more like the final product. If anything, you see how the line thickness here is a lot thicker? Let's make these spikes also a little thicker. You gotta be careful about how we set this up. But I think that's better. It's just that normally the outside of a chibi, the outline, should be thicker. And the details inside of the chibi should be finer, more soft. And because all of this is already so thick, I wanted to match it. You know? From thick to thin. As the head is the more expressive bit, so... Okay, let's copy this and transfer it here. In a way, the final product of this will be our sketch for the blinking position. And the only differences I did for the blinking position here are the tail and the pen movement. Those are the only two differences from the original sketch. Let me turn on the original sketch here. If I turn it off and I turn it on, there's no changes. Oh, actually there is a change. Look at the head tilt. I added a little bit of a head tilt. So it's like a I'm drawing swish swash. So that's the only other element. The head. Okay. Knowing this, we can actually alter this picture Let's cut properly here. Let's not touch the chest floof. We can directly alter the image and then fix it post-production. Again, I don't like this. This is a good tilt, but I don't like that the ear cuts. So let's, in fact, do something else first. Maybe something like this. And then we can shift. So it feels like it's being squished out. Not the floof though. The floof should remain as thick as it was before. Just tilt it a little more. There we go. Now we delete this. The continuation should be seamless. Let's zoom in. There we go. Much much proper. Okay. And now, hopefully, we have enough space to tilt the head without cutting anything. It doesn't have to be an extreme head tilt, but I want it to be... And now we connect the pieces. There we go. Tiny details, but they make maybe a difference. Let's turn on the original clean sketch. They kind of don't move from this spot, but it's good enough. In fact, I could actually, not that it's tilted. Yeah, I just don't want it too much of an extreme ear tilt. That would be for the blinking animation frame. The blinking frame, yeah, I do want it to be more noticeable. So let's carefully blend this in. Alright. 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 Okay, we got one. And now for... This will be tricky. How do we do this? This should be good. Let's see the sketch, more or less. Let's try that again. The hand and the... Okay. Yeah, that should work out. Let's turn off the... Actually, this one, let's color blue so we don't get confused or lost. I don't, but for the sake of you guys, I don't want to, you know. Let's see. Let's make the difference. Let's take away the original sketch. There we are. Now we should be able to see what's happening. We can delete what overlaps here. And delete. Actually, turn this off. Delete, 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 delete. And the hand, I think we will need to remake, because I made it like moving the fingers a bit, so it's no problem. Actually, the tail, I didn't quite change it so much, so Let's just change its position like it's wagging. Wunderbar. Wunderbar. So now, let's overlap this. Transparent so I can see what I'm doing. Let's continue the chest. There's something behind the arm, or was something behind the arm. And let's actually make the line of the arm. Okay, so let's do the hand now. I wonder, would the hand be the same? Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I think I'll keep the same hand because it's the one on the blinking animation that makes a more drastic change. Copy. Paste. Control E. No. Okay, let's Control E. Why does it stay? Okay, hang on. Control E. What is this? Okay, I don't know what that is, but thank you, eraser. Oh, I think it's the transparent ink. That's so weird. So long as it doesn't differ from the original. There we go. Okay. I think we're done. Erase this. Oh boy. I don't know why it revealed all this, but let's be very, very careful. Any detail that we lose on the black could make it too noticeable. I don't want that. This was a weird mistake. But we can clean it up. A little bit of a setback when combining layers. It's fine. We got time. Actually, the streamer that I talked about just now started their stream. Relaxing finesse. You know, sometimes you find things, right? Tutorials, ideas. I just learned about actions in Clip Studio. I didn't know those were a thing. But a girl on Instagram that has like an avatar and everything and is VTubing, she spoke about actions, and they're the best thing I've ever seen. And I didn't know that Clip Studio had them. Basically, it makes automatic step-by-step settings actions that you might do by hand. Like if I wanted to make this little character appear in every inch and corner of the page like a sticker thing, well, you can program it for it to happen. I think it was Windows and Actions. Auto Actions. There they are. I don't know how to use them. I want to check it out later. Not now, but they would save a lot of trouble. Anyways, we're done. This is it. We moved the tail, we moved the tail, we moved the head a little, and the pen. So once we're done, we can start coloring. 2 left. Oh my god. Now, this is where I suggest we take a bit of water and stretch. We're halfway done. Well, halfway before we can start coloring, but coloring should be easy. I'll show you how I do it. How I do it is pretty simple, but I'll get a little bit of water. I'll be right back. Give me a few seconds. I'm back. Now, did I drink water? Yes. Did I bring some water to drink while I'm here? Also, yes. Am I afraid of the mistakes that might happen as I do the do? Absolutely. I might need to buy a water bottle. Anywho, let's continue. We got a few things to get over. We have a few things to finish. Okay, so these are just polished. What we need to do now is grab the default, make it blink. No, yeah, we gotta make it talk. And from making it talk, we need to make the talking one blink. Which should be easy because the only changes, again, are the floofy tail, a little bit of the pen, just a little bit, and the ears. Of course the eyes, but you know, just 2 swooshes isn't that much. So let's start with this, the harder one. How do we take the default and make it talk? Well, let's do the same process again. Copy. Paste the default. And now we can start manipulating the default. Let's color the sketch and lower the opacity as just a model. I notice also that these spikes move up with my chin, so this should do it too. And the back should get squished. So I'm just going to choose this section, Actually, I'm not taking the lower jaw. Why? Because if I notice, right, when you talk, or at least when a cartoon talks, you got the nose, you got the upper part of the mouth, and the eye. Here's like a hinge connected to the lower jaw. So when they talk, the jaw might stay in the same place or move a little bit lower. And it's still connected on the same hinge. I'm exaggerating, of course, but this is more or less how it would work. This will move up. This will move down. And then close normal. So, because this part squishes, I might need to squish up this part. So this one might displace to the side, and the top might bulge and squish to this side. And the lower jaw, this part, should either move down a little or stay where it is as the top pops off. See, all this top has to move up, and the jaw can either stay equal or move down. And this is why my selection was a little bit like, I stopped here and I'm like, should I keep the jaw or move the jaw? But I think the jaw should stay there, so I'm gonna do the same, but instead I'm gonna cut here. I'm gonna cut here and here and here. I'm gonna choose the whole head and the arrow, why not? And here and reconnect to the other side. Let's refine the selection. Not this. Not this, to be honest. That's just an example arrow. This I don't need. Oh, oops. The opposite. And this I can refine later. Ta-da! Ta-da! No. More selective here. Okay. So now, let's see what I mean? Oh, why is it choosing? Oh, okay. My bad. It's still choosing this. So, in that case, I have to... yeah, cut all of this. We don't want any of that. In fact, this is gonna squish and displace down, and everything else is going. Okay. I think I got it. I think I got it. I got it now. Okay. Let's do it. Wow. It's kind of horrific, actually. Let's move it closer to the sketch. There we go. Wow. 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 If anything, it should be... If anything, it should not only be like this, but move a little bit to the back. A bit further. Okay, let's try this. I like it. Okay. Now let's redraw and redefine all the bits and pieces that didn't quite work. Again, this displaced and squished. Maybe it gets even lost in, like, the tip gets lost down here. Actually, yeah. And this also will be displaced. And squished. Squishy hair, squishy hair. There we go. You got it. You got it. Let's give priority to the top of the hair that's invading the lower parts. Let's delete this. Continue the round baby chin. Let me change the music. There we go. Okay, so let's continue. Okay. Sorry, I was just adjusting the volume. And now, the mouth. Something like that. And now we delete. We allow the silly overlap. And we gotta make sure not to interfere with the original. There we go. That should make it more rounder. Like a wider, yeah. God, this is a little bit heart. There we go. I think this works. So can I make... Maybe I can make this wider. Make the mouth a bit more. Just a bit more, you know. Okay, I like that. It's a little more happy and expressive. Okay. Now let's do the rest. Cut here. Get the pen. Cut here. Cut here. And get to the bottom and release. It auto cuts as best it can, but not quite gets the curve. So for straight lines, I can just select point A, then point B, and more or less align it, and poof, you know. But not here. It's too curvy. But you know, you don't have to sustain a perfect line. You do not need a perfect alignment. You just need the right angle to do the trick shot. Okay. Let's align this with the blue sketch in the background. The original sketch. Actually, we don't need to. We move this point and we tilt. We can tilt a little bit lower. And there we go. Now we can start re-correcting as we normally do. Cut the excess here with the eraser. Add to what was lost. And now the hand. It moves a little bit higher. It's like I'm pointing forward a little bit, like releasing the tablet a little bit, loosening the grip. The same thing here. And all of this is connected. So I'll have to remake this line, but not too aggressively different. Let's actually hide the tail, like it's wagging down. Under what we can see. I keep confusing my hotkeys. I don't see them, so. Actually, I could even make my little feetsies move. Like they curl up a little. Just a little, not too much. See, like... Maybe even a little bump. Not too much, just a delicate, cute bump. Let's clean this up a bit. Hell, this line, we can move it a little. And the blinking one has the more okay. Let's then oh right, I gotta delete this. My bad. My bad. My diagram of the blah man. The blah man. He speaks. For what? Who knows? But he does not speak for the trees, that's for sure. Okay. Oh, I should move the mole. Oh no, wait, the mole move. Okay. And now we copy. This is our last one. Boop. Let's do the same thing. Color blue. Lower the opacity. This one's actually pretty straightforward. The ear, I can move it lower. Start erasing the overlaps. What was this? Oh, where it used to be. Okay. Never mind. That one goes too. Should clean up this on the other one too. It's not gonna look the same, but it's not gonna be a little cleaner, you know. Housekeeping. Come back later, please. Housekeeping. Go away. Go away. Okay, I think for the flip, I definitely will need to, for the hair flopa, just lower this a lot. I will need to just remake the ear, because much like a flag that curves in the wind, some information is hidden, and some of it is revealed in the background here. And so the ear, when it goes from this to this, let you know I gotta just remake the whole thing. There's no way I can keep the same structure and warp it. So I didn't do it on the sketch, but I'll have to do it here. I knew I had to do it, so I didn't really have to sketch it. Not yet, at least. This technically is a sketch for what will be the official. Maybe this could be the official if I do a good enough job. But that's not gonna happen all the time. Again, when you practice enough, at one point, you won't need to do that much hassle before reaching the official finish line. That's actually what people pay for when they hire artists. Anybody can do what I'm doing. This is why I invite you to try. I invite you to find the same resources I'm using and start your experience. Cautiously, of course. But it's not that high level of an entry. However, when people start demeaning your work and saying anyone can do it, it's like, sure. But I've made more mistakes than you. So yes, anyone can do this, but not everyone has made the same mistakes, if any at all. And that's what distinguishes an experienced artist from one that just started out, or a wannabe that doesn't care about the art but cares about the profit. You must value your experience. You must respect yourself and your client. The time they take from you asking you for a commission, and how quickly you can deliver a value product. Not that you should ever present a garbage product, because it will reflect on your reputation. And again, customers don't know anything about what we do. So be careful. But also respect yourself. Don't say you are trash, garbage. Don't undersell yourself, but also don't oversell yourself. Be honest about your abilities. Have a portfolio that displays your current skill. And do. Just do. Actually, I should keep it like this and make the normal talking the feet close to the original. So this lovely. Let's do it all over again. Move the anchor. That should be enough. And now correct. Eliminate the unnecessary bits. Actually, I really liked... Yeah, I like the state of the feet before, so I'm just going to copy paste this on here. Yeah. I liked it better this way. And then when it blinks as it talks, it's when it does all these things where it wags the tail, it tilts. I think we're done then. Oops, I moved this a little, but never fear! Brush is here! Okay. I think that about does it. We can start painting. Let's make a basic mask first. And let's test it out, actually. We can test it. First, make a layer underneath with the wishing wand. Invert select the line art. Go to the empty one. Make a mask. Go to the layer itself, not the mask. And let's... So you can see what I'm doing. Let's change the color of the background from pale white to a medium gray. This will be important because that way we can see the quality of the colors better. We're starting color theory now, guys. Let's go. That's pretty cool. And there we have it, guys. Look at that. Beautiful selection. And now we do the same thing with the other things. Go to the line art. Select the area. Invert selection. Make a layer underneath. Make a mask. Unselect the mask. Select the layer. Paint the layer, not the mask. Rinse, repeat, victory. I mean, of course, if there's any gaps, it will show, so make sure to correct that if you have any mistakes. Like, it should select it perfectly. And because this chibi is thick-lined and a chibi, it's hard for me to make any mistake where I don't grab the entire selection. So we're Gucci, guys. We're good. Now, what do you say we take away the layer and we start saving it? Let's just start. Okay. Export PNG, and let's replace the talking one, the blinking talking one, with this. And now let's save the talking unblinking with this. The blinking quiet one. And finally, the quiet default. Let's go to Veadotube. Let's close. Yeah. Look at this now, how it looks. Oh, that's weird. I must have chosen a smaller image. But, never fear, let's change that. First, the quiet image. Now, the talking image. Aha! Hey! Ooh, I'm getting excited. Look at this. Okay, next. Which one is this? The quiet blinking. There we go. Look at it again. Oh my god, the tail! Look at the tail! Yes! Ah, it's working. Okay, so now the talking blinking. Everything's here, it's working. Oh gosh, oh golly, it works. Ah! Yes, okay. Oh, this is so cool. So much fun. How long have I been streaming? Let me check my YouTube analytics and return. Nope, this isn't it. This one's the unlisted one. Da 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 da. Well, how do I see it? YouTube Studio. What section do I see my videos? I want to know exactly how long I've been. Does the stream say? Does the stream... No, it just says... Oh, it's streaming, guys! My channel. Here's the live video. Oh, wow. It's... it's delayed, of course. 2 hours. I mean, it doesn't say the exact timing, but hey, 2 hours, not bad. Now, let me just reopen Clip Studio so we can actually see the overlap. Oh, no, not that one. That one. There we go. Oh gosh, look at it. It's so cute. It's on the corner. It's working. I'm becoming more powerful every second. Look at me, mother. Do you not see my ultimate form? It's slowly gathering. I shall be in Valhalla yet. Ha ha. Okay. You know, I'm tempted. I'm tempted to just leave it here and color next time. Because honestly, let's be real, coloring takes a lot of time. And I think I need to start thinking about the kitchen and about other things that okay. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Well, everyone, thank you so much. Maybe not for tuning in. This was a pretty empty stream. Kogmar, I see you in the chat. I'm so happy to see you here. And for anyone that finds me, for anyone that just pops in out of nowhere from the ether of ethers, I hope you learned something. And yeah, hope we meet. And if not, well, may your journeys be long and prosperous, my friend. The world of art is huge and full of power. Never give up on yourself, okay? You are very, very valuable. You just need to prove it to yourself. Anyway, that's enough rambling from me. Have a lovely evening. Take care, everyone. And I'll see you next time. Cut my life into pieces!